Hi there, Laura here, the founder of Get Organized HQ. And I want to share with you the one thing that you should never do if you want to keep a clean and tidy home without being overwhelmed or stressed. And this might surprise you. It's kind of the opposite actually of what you might expect, but it has been a total game changer for me. I had this epiphany many years ago. I've shared it with other people and they've said it's made a big difference for them. So I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I want you to, after I say it, I just want you to hear me out here, okay? So it is, when you are cleaning, you should not try to give it your best effort. Now I know, we have all been taught, just do your best, always do your best, give it your best, put in your best effort. But as the saying goes, you shouldn't give first-rate efforts to second-rate causes. And 90% of the time, cleaning is one of those second-rate causes. And let me explain more about how this works. So I used to be one of these people. Some people have called me a perfectionist, so I do have some of those tendencies. And so, of course, I wanted to clean, and every time I would go to clean something, like I would go to clean the bathrooms or to go to vacuum the steps. I very vividly remember this. Many years ago, vacuuming my steps. Now, the first problem is this is something that I didn't do often enough, and here's why. All right, so steps need to be vacuumed. You get out the vacuum and you're going to vacuum them. Simple enough, right? Oh no. So I'd start vacuuming them, and then I would notice there was this I don't know what you call it, like the wood piece that goes, down the steps that had a little decorative ridge. That can get pretty dusty. So as I'm vacuuming off the steps, I'm noticing the dust that's there. Now, it's not that wildly noticeable, but yeah, if you look, you'll see it. So what do? I can't stop at just vacuuming off the steps. Now we have to clean the dust. So we go get the duster and we do the duster. Well, there's little tiny ridges, so that doesn't get it completely clean. So now we have to go get the microfiber cloth, get it damp, and really clean every single one of those ridges. Oh, and then there's the railing, and then the metal part that holds the railing that we need to shine. And so the simple act of cleaning off the steps that would get pretty messy. We use those steps all the time. The simple act of vacuuming those that should have taken 5 minutes turns into this at least 45-minute project, and it's stressful because I am trying to get it perfectly clean. I want someone to grade me and be like, you got a 99% at least. This is what I'm trying to do. And this is part of the reason why I didn't do it often enough, because I thought I had to do it perfectly, and every time I did it, it would be an ordeal. And this is what else I did. I don't know if anyone else spirals like I do with these things. I would also use it as an opportunity to beat myself up for not doing this often enough. Oh my goodness, how did I let these dusts get down in these ridges? I should be doing this more. And so the whole entire thing was always a negative experience, which then fed more into putting it off and off and off and off and off. So when I actually got to it, it was actually more dirty and more work. And this was I would almost call it the shame cycle. And in that moment, I realized, you know what? If instead of being I need to give this my absolute best, this has to be the cleanest staircase anyone has ever seen, what if instead I changed my mind and I said, hey, I'm trying to get a C here. I would want my grade here to be 70%, not 90, not 99, but I just want it to be 70%. I want it to be where it's not embarrassing. It's not the first thing people notice. We don't have just dust and dirt everywhere, but I just do a quick cursory sweep of the steps. And maybe if it's real bad, once a month, I'll get out the duster and do the dusting. And only rarely will we do the really deep cleaning. I would be much happier and I would get so much more done. And my house would actually look cleaner. So now that I have this approach, it has changed everything. And I do this with a lot of things. I'm is this the time to do an A+ job, or is this the time to do a C, a passable job? And for the majority of the times when you are actually tidying or cleaning, a C job is what's called for. And when you do everything at more of a C level, then you're able to get it all done in less time with less stress, and everything stays at kind of an acceptable level. And then when you have those times that you really do want to deep clean more, you can choose, okay, hey, this is a time I really do want to do an A+ job because I'm really in the mood to deep clean, or I really think this needs a deep cleaning, it warrants it. But that is really the difference in the people who always have a tidy looking home. They are probably not doing every single job to an A+ level. When we go to wipe out the microwave, we are not getting out a toothbrush and going in every single little corner. We're just doing a quick wipe down. People like me who feel like we always have to do that A+ job, every single time we go to clean the microwave, it turns into this 30-minute ordeal, and that's why we never do it and we let it build up. So this alone, ask yourself, what kind of job am I trying to do here? And just tell yourself, every time you're tempted to be that perfectionist, every time you're tempted to try too hard, just say, I'm trying to get a C here. I'm trying to do a 70% job. This will also apply if you have kids. One of the things for us perfectionists that can be difficult is I kind of want them to do a perfect job of their cleaning too, and this can stress them out, especially if they're not naturally that personality type. So I'm realizing, no, I want to teach them to do the 70% job for most things, and that makes it easier for them to do it. Less complaining, less overwhelm, everyone is happier. Now I just want to share a few examples of ways where you might kind of be doing it at an A+ level, but you could actually save yourself some time and it wouldn't actually make things look all that messier or all that much worse. These are just a few ideas. If you have more, of course, share them in the comments below. But one big one is, do we really have to fold everything? Wash rags, as an example. I sometimes fold my wash rags, and when I do, they're always like the same order, like it can't be upside down. And so it takes a while to fold the wash rags. But here's the deal. In my house, they're in a cabinet. So first of all, no one is seeing it. The cabinet is closed. Secondly, they're in a basket. So again, if I don't fold them at all, no one even sees that. And we use them so fast. So maybe think of, instead of nicely folding your wash rags, could you instead get a little basket and just toss them in? That's going to save you a lot of time. Same thing with underwear. Do you really need to fold it, or can you just toss it in? Because at least for me, when I'm choosing underwear, I don't really care what it is. It just needs to do the job. So just grab one out. That's another idea. Another one that can save you a lot of time in so many ways. How many of us feel like we spend too much time matching socks? And my washer, my dryer, they eat the socks, and then I have this like whole thing of mismatches, and it takes forever. What if instead you bought the exact same pair of socks for each family member? So you only have this one brand. So they're all 100% exactly the same. Do this the next time your kids, are outgrowing their socks or whatever, or when you need to replace yours. And then there's only one sock, so there's no matching. Just toss them all in. It's gonna save you a ton of time. All right, when it comes to dusting, one of the things that we can tend to do is feel like, okay, when I'm dusting, I need to lift up every single item. Sometimes I feel like the duster isn't good enough and I need to get like a crevice tool to go in the little crevices. No, most of our dusting needs to be a cursory quick dust. Like just anything I can see, I'm just gonna grab the duster and quickly dust. That should be our normal dusting. And then we'll keep it to where you don't get the situations where you can basically write your name in it. Another situation in which I did not do a good job of following my own advice is we have this drawer in the kitchen for whatever reason that tends to get more crumbs in it than other drawers. And I would see this drawer. I would open it up. I would need something. We use it frequently. That's probably why it gets so many crumbs. And I'd be like, oh, this is just nasty. Like there's crumbs in here. I want to clean them out. But do you want to know why I didn't take it probably would have taken 2 minutes to get a rag and clean them out. Maybe 3 to 4 if I wanted to actually take everything out of that drawer and put it back in. But even without taking stuff out, I could have got rid of most of the crumbs. It's because I thought, well, if I do this one, don't I have to do all the drawers? Doesn't that mean I have to take everything out of all the drawers and maybe the cabinets and wipe them all down? No, it doesn't. The other drawers did not have noticeable crumbs. I mean, I'm sure there was a bit of dust or crumb in there somewhere, but you didn't like open it up and notice the crumbs. I could have just taken the 2 to 4 minutes to clean that one drawer, and every time I opened it, I would feel better. But instead, I put it off for months because I wanted to wait until I had the time to thoroughly wipe down every single drawer. I feel like, at least me, I have a tendency to want to overdo it when I'm cleaning bathrooms because there's so much to clean. There's so many like surfaces and there's so many places you could really truly like deep clean. I mean, we can get out the old toothbrushes and really get it clean. But that first 20% of effort gets you 80% of the results. And that last 80% of the time you spend, you barely even notice. So for most of the time when I'm cleaning it, I need to do a quick swish of the toilet, wipe down the seat really quick. I don't need to get with a toothbrush at the base of the toilet and really get every little thing. Same with, around the sinks. If I just do that first 20% of the work, it's gonna look much better. It's gonna look perfectly acceptable. There's not gonna be anything icky or nasty, and I can save the really deep cleaning for when I have more time and more infrequently when I really wanna tackle that. All right, now this I think is going to be a game changer for you. But the second reason why you might be struggling to keep your home clean is that you're not using the proper cleaning system. And I have an entire video about that. I'll leave the link down below and you can go ahead and watch that one next.